What's going on, everyone? We were at a little clean out. It looks worse on camera than it actually is, but it's for the contractor friend. It's all this stuff right here. All the big boxes are empty. This is probably the heaviest thing. It's a mirror and the little 5-gallon bucket of tile. Now, and then these 4 bags are just full of paper, trash, and cardboard, stuff like that. So, nothing too crazy. We're just doing a quick little cash thing because he's someone that I do a lot of work for, especially with his clients. And today I'm just doing my ghost route, so it's not really a big hit on me. But after this job, I want to talk about some of the mistakes that I've made this year that are what I think are leading to like what's happening now. So I want to go over that and how I kind of plan on fixing it later this year, and of course going into next year as well. But I have to move my trailer because I can't block the mailbox here. The guy next door has yelled at me before. But it's like 3 in the afternoon. I was like, if the mail's not here, like, it's not coming today. That's not true. But I'm gonna go ahead and move the trailer, and then I will see you guys when I do my ghost route. I want to talk about the mistakes I've made. All right, when you're all done, this is all the stuff staying. As everything else is out. Alright, that job took less than about 30 minutes. It's a quick little $200 cash job. I would have charged more if it was like a normal job, but he's someone that I do a lot of work with, and he's someone I know personally, so discounts. So I wanted to talk about some of the mistakes I've made this year, or at least what I think of as mistakes, and how I think it's kind of affected me in the winter, and then what I kind of plan on doing for the rest of this year and definitely into next year. And I'll talk about a few of the different sources that I've kind of learned a little bit about recently, and then I want to talk a little bit about JunkCon coming up in October, which if you're going, let me know down below, and if you're not, let me know why not, because I had a few people tell me why they aren't going, and you know, it makes sense to a degree, but some people seemed like they were kind of against it for other reasons that I don't think are like a proper reason, I guess. So I'm just kind of curious. And if you didn't know about it, I think tickets are still on sale. You can go to Junk Removal Authority, YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever. Or you can buy through Sonoma Strong Hauling. You probably know them. But yeah, I want to talk about some of the mistakes that I've kind of made this year. Alright, it is now nighttime. I actually recorded this entire video already, all 5 mistakes, but it was raining so hard throughout the day that I guess with that, along with driving, the sound really muffled out, and you just couldn't hear me very well, which is annoying because it was a very detailed video. But it's probably going to be better because now people will actually watch it because it's not 30 minutes long. But I did go ahead and go through it all and wrote down all the key words and key points, so I'll go ahead and share that here. It did come out to 5 mistakes, so I can actually title the video 5 mistakes I've made. But starting off, and I'll try to keep this a little shorter than the other one, no promises. The first mistake I did was not consistently marketing all the time. It's such an important thing. It's something that it's not that I don't like think about it, it's that I don't force it upon myself to just always be marketing 24/7. Where are you going? You're facing the wrong way. Florida, man, Florida. It's not something that I'm doing like 24/7. So something I want to push for is, I used to go through the Facebook groups all the time, like for each city, and on there everyone asks for recommendations for services. I know a pretty good network, and I used to comment the service, and then I would comment myself and say, by the way, you know, I do junk removal, if that's something that you may need before, during, or after your service. And I would say I probably collected about 15 to 20% of my jobs going through those. I also got a lot of side moving jobs, and I have connected with a few realtors that may not need me right then and there, but they'll call and chit chat with me, and then they'll save my number for next time. So that's something I kind of want to get back into, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes a day, just running through the pages. The next one is Facebook boosts. I don't really do a lot of Facebook boosts. I don't really do Google ads. I'm still kind of weary about Google ads just because I feel like unless you're putting a lot of money into it, it may not be the most worthwhile strategy, in my opinion. Facebook boosts, I might try to do like once a month just to drive people to my page and my website. And then the yard signs have actually proven to be quite useful. I was very inconsistent with doing them last year. Like I would have a couple months at a time in between putting signs out. The last month or so, I've been trying to go out every Sunday night. So like they're ready for like the new work week. And I'll put them out around intersections, gas stations, busy plaza, storage units. And my goal is to basically to do sections of my city and the cities around me every single week. So over the course of the month, I'm kind of imprinted in all around the county that I service in. So I plan on doing that more consistently, maybe 10 to 20 signs each week. So I'll have to purchase them more often, of course. But I think they're a useful marketing tool. And then I want to keep up on my quarterly marketing, doing the real estate offices, the apartment buildings, and the storage units going every quarter, and just leaving behind cards and flyers or asking if they have any open vendor positions. Mistake number 2 is the truck. So my only regret with the truck is I kind of rushed into it last minute. And like, if I was getting this for personal use, it would be a fantastic purchase. It's a 2021. It has a 4-year warranty, so I still got 3 years left. When I got it, it was like 26,000 miles on it, or 27,000 miles, which was a lot less compared to some of the other trucks out there. It was actually $2,000 cheaper than a lot of the other ones. There was nothing cosmetically wrong with it. Nothing interiorly was wrong with it. But yeah, so like overall, it was a good buy, right? But the thing I overlooked the most was the towing capacity. It's not a full-size truck, so I can't pull a dump trailer, which is kind of like my semi-long-term goal, is to be able to get a dump trailer so I don't have to do so much of the work. But I can't pull it with this truck, so I would have to trade in a truck to get a dump trailer at some point in the future. So that's something I kind of rushed into, and I was like, oh, this is a good deal. Maybe it won't be here next week, and I kind of rushed into it. I wish I had, went out and looked around, figured out like, okay, this is nice. This is where I kind of want to gauge towards, but have not rushed into it and just got it on the spot. Because now I have to pay for it. Number 3 is the trailer. The trailer overall was a great buy. It was a affordable option. I love the wrap on it. I think it's a very clean, minimal look. If you haven't seen it, it's in half my thumbnails. The only thing I wish I had maybe done for my first trailer was, instead of doing the aluminum siding, which looks really nice and I like the way it looks, but it was expensive compared to what I could have done just by building it with wood and kind of doing my own walls. It was about a $2,500 difference. So just as the truck and trailer were my 2 biggest purchases I've ever made with the business. And I feel like just doing that all at once, it would have been better to start off with the wood, and then maybe my next trailer before the dump, I would get the aluminum siding and make that my new primary, or using that for like the more bulk of my jobs, and leaving the wood one for like scrap metal or like dirty jobs or construction jobs or something. So that was the other one. The next one is delegating finances. So I have like my budget. Like I try to put away X amount each job to cover my bills for that day or for that week. I always try to make sure I have my monthly bills and then some in my checking account at all times. What I don't do very well is pay myself. I rely more on like moving side jobs and other streams of income than the actual business. And I wish I didn't have to do that. Because it's like, what's the whole point of working for yourself if you're not going to be able to pay yourself? Hello, lights. So I kind of want to get into the habit where I'm able to budget a little bit better, maybe be a little bit more frugal with the kind of things I buy for the business. Um, like, for example, I did a few construction jobs last year where I was having to pick up all the little pieces of drywall on the grass. So I went out and bought like an industrial rake so I wouldn't have to do that in the future. And then I never had a damn construction job like that again where it was stuff in the grass and I never used the rake. So like, that's a minor buy. It's like $30, but it's examples like that where it's like I wish I would rather just like, unless I was getting them every single week, then go buy it. But it was just off of those two jobs where it was like it was a pain in the butt, and I was like, all right, this will make things a little easier. Plus, construction jobs in general is a very slim percentage of my overall jobs. But it's stuff like that, it's not buying stuff I'm not going to be using all the time. Um, even just trimming down in general with like the way I do things or the things I buy for marketing purposes. Like, is this really going to bring me in money, or is it actually useful, or is it just like this would be kind of cool? So I really want to try to be a little bit more frugal with that and future larger purchases. Consider all my options before jumping into anything. I also want to be more consistent with how I pay out labor. So I usually do like 20 to 25 bucks an hour cash. And like I come from the moving industry, and those are the guys I use or people I've worked with, so I know how much they're getting paid. So they're getting paid a little bit more, plus it's cash, so you don't have to do taxes on it. Like, I know it's a good deal, but considering that they all work part-time or full-time and I'm using them on my days off, I always feel a little bit more obligated to give them a little bit extra because I'm grateful that they're able to come out and help me. And keep in mind, I only really hire help if I actually need the help to get the job done. Otherwise, I figure it out. So there's also like that sense of like desperateness to have someone help me. So, sometimes I've done 20 bucks an hour. Sometimes I've done like just 50 or 80 bucks a flat rate fee depending on the size job. I've forked out a good amount for bigger jobs. I want to just be more consistent, figure out a good cash price, and just leave it at that. Maybe I'll make like a minimum of like 40, 50 bucks a job. So like at least they're coming out. If it takes me an hour, they're not having to lose out on anything. And then I'll take it hourly from there. But that's something I want to try to do a little bit better of. I also want to work on doing scheduling out like percentages for my budget or for maintenance or for member draws, whatever the case. I want to just have it be a little bit more fine-tuned and a little bit more categorized. And then mistake number 5 is networking. So there's a lot of opportunities around me where you can go out to like these coffee shops and meet with local business owners and just chit-chat and network. And I don't do them because I'm not the most outgoing person. I'm not the most engaging in just random conversation. It's just something that makes me kind of uncomfortable. And I need to work on that because in order to network, I need to be able to talk with people. Not everything can be done through, social media or through word of mouth. Like, I need to be able to go out there and get business, whether it's networking through people or through services or other businesses. So I really want to work on kind of engaging in people a little bit better, building a better relationship so that I can, utilize them for future use. And I also want to be able to go out to some of these more events to network and just in general. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm the business owner, I'm the face of the company. If I can't engage properly, how is that going to reflect on my business? So that's something I need to work on. So those are my 5 main mistakes that I think of for this year so far. I think they all affected me negatively in their own way. And obviously not everything I've done has been negative. I've had a lot of positives this year. But those are the ones that I plan on working on for the rest of this year and especially going into next year. So maybe some of you guys are in the same boat. Maybe you've had the same issues. Maybe you've battled your own situations, and I would love to hear them if you don't mind sharing them for the world to see. If not, you can always message me on Instagram. A few of you have reached out asking about if I'm going to JunkCon because you want to meet me, which is okay. Speaking of JunkCon, I've talked to a few people that I've kind of met through social media, and I've had a couple of mixed responses about it. Some people think it's just a giant marketing ploy to bring all the big guys out and say, if you do what we do, you know, you can be like this too, which I get the core concept of. I don't necessarily think that's their whole strategy. I mean, they have to make money too. But my goal going there is just to learn as much as possible. You're going to have big guys out there, medium guys, startups, guys who've made it so far. They've opened up multiple franchise and sister companies revolving around it. I just want to go there and learn from their mistakes, their successes, ways they've battled around, you know, their conflicts with their audience or their demographic, you know, depending on where they are, what they found to be useful or to make them more money or save them money. So I'm going in there with, you know, an open mind, and I'll have my notebook with me, and I plan on just learning as much as I can. So let me know if you guys are going to be going there. Comment it down below. I'll keep an eye out for you, and vice versa. But I'm looking forward to it. But that is it for me for my 5 mistakes. I'm glad it ended up being 5 because it makes titling a little easier. I'm also glad I don't have more mistakes. But maybe I'll do like top 5 things I've done this year that's like been proven to work for me. So not everything is so negative. But that is it for now. Thanks.